Today we're learning how to make this Lego inspired animated presentation all the way from scratch, including the Lego blocks that you can see on this slide. So this is a pretty cool presentation, and let's start from a blank slide. Right click Format Background, and we're going to give a red gradient here, so gradient fill. Change it to red, and at the bottom I'm going to choose a slightly darker red so it gives a nice gradient on this slide. Play around with the settings a little bit, and then we're going to create the Lego shape. So add a rectangle on top of the screen, hold shift to create a perfect rectangle, remove outline, and let's make it yellow to make it stand out. Right click Format Shape, and we're going to go to the second tab, 3D Rotation, and then choose the top angle. Go to 3D Format, and in the depth section at about 150, that's maybe a bit too much, let's reduce it to 100 of depth, that looks better. Position it to the left, and now we're going to add a circle, so the little connection parts of the Lego. Add a circle, hold shift for a perfect circle, make it yellow, remove outline, same format, 3D format, and the depth we're going to make it about 15. And this gives us the top part of the Lego, so the small circles. Position them in the corners, hold Control while you drag, or Option if you're working on a Mac, and then position them in the other corners. You can select both at a time, and then copy once more for the opposite sides. And this way we have created, with very simple shapes, a Lego block in PowerPoint. Group everything together, right click Group, and now position it to the bottom of the slide. Hold Control and drag the block upwards, so we create a copy, or you can Ctrl C, Ctrl V, however you like it, and stack it on top of the previous block. We're going to change the color, so shape fill and make it green, and then you can see everything changes at once. Stack another one and make it red, or give it any color that you like. And then the last one, let's make this blue. Then we have the 4 colors which are frequently used in Lego. Select everything, position it to the bottom of the slide, or so it fits the slide nicely. And now we're going to duplicate the slide. So right click Duplicate Slide. And on the first slide, let's move the blocks all the way out of the screen. So the top 3 are going to the top, and the bottom one, let's make it come in from the bottom. That will look nicer. Add the logo on the screen, you can find this online. And maybe a title for your presentation. Let's first align it to the middle. Shift it up a little bit because we're going to add a title below text box. And let's type in presentation. This can be whatever you like to have as a title of your presentation. Font, we're going for Montserrat. Make it white, center it in the middle. Let's make the font bold and increase the size a little bit. That looks about right. Select both, maybe shift them down a little bit and increase the logo size just a little bit more. That looks better. Perfect. Next, we want to select the logo and the title. We want to copy it on the second page. And here we want to reduce the font size because we're going to make it smaller, and also reduce the size of the logo and position it somewhere on the right side of the slide. That way we always have a image of the logo on the slides. Now we want to add a title for the second slide. Let's make this chapter 1 or step 1. Can be whatever you like. Change the font to Montserrat, make it bold. Make it white. Increase the size. And position it as you like on the slide. I'm going to fill this right side of the slide with content, and then the left side is going to be the Lego blocks. Add some dummy text, and this looks about good. Now we want to duplicate this slide 4 times. So go to the slides on the left, right click duplicate or press Ctrl D 4 times. Then we go to the first slide of chapter 1 and we remove the top 3 blocks. So only the yellow one remains on the slide, and we hold shift while we drag them upwards. That way they move in a straight line. On the second one you remove the top 2, and then on the second to last you remove only the top one. And the last one has the 4 stacks completely. Change the numbers from chapter 1, 2, 3 and 4 respectively. And now we want to change the text a little bit. If we want to apply the morph transition, we're using dummy text, so if you're using your own text you don't have to change it. So I'm changing it so the dummy text appears nicely and the morph transition works. Once that's done, the content is added. Let's go to the first slide, copy the chapter 1 and the dummy text, and paste that on the first slide, the opening slide, and drag it to the right outside of the screen. Drag the text a little bit further than the title, that gives a nice fly-in effect. And then go to the second slide, copy chapter 2, and paste that on the right side of the chapter 1 slide. This way chapter 2 can fly in once you transition from the chapter 1 slide. Copy chapter 1 and the text, put it on the second chapter slide and remove that to the bottom. This way we create the effect that the chapter 1 and the text moves downward and the chapter 2 flies in from the right side. Do the same for the next slides. So chapter 3, the new slide comes in from the right and the previous slide or the previous content moves downward. And we want to repeat these steps for the other slides. So move chapter 2 down here. And then for the last slide, we want to do the same. Make sure chapter 4 flies in on chapter 3 slide. And then all the way at the last slide. And then we want to duplicate the last slide. Move the content down. There's no new content flying in, so that's not needed. Move the blocks to the bottom left. And then increase the logo size again and the presentation or the title. And center that in the middle. Move the text below, increase the size again. And now the only thing left to do is select all the different slides except for the first one. And then add a transition, morph, and this will give the correct effect on all the slides. Let's preview. And now you know how to make this nice Lego-inspired animated presentation in PowerPoint all the way from scratch. There's quite a lot that you can do in PowerPoint, so if you want to learn more, make sure to follow the channel and watch the video that is showing on the screen right now. Thanks for watching, don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you in the next video.